This is a pie I'm particularly proud of. It has a gorgeous, creamy and vegetable filling with a surprise, a whole egg in it. And I'll be teaching my students and you how to bake this delicious pie. So let's get baking. Now I'm using a rich short crust pastry to make this pie, and it's absolutely delicious and a must-try recipe. I have 4 students today. Steph does bake, but her friend Amy once tried to make a lemon meringue pie and forgot to put the sugar in. Paul does proudly bake pies, but they take 2 days to make, and apparently he makes a right mess in the kitchen. His wife Rebecca is hoping I teach him how to do it properly. Now in this bowl I have plain white flour. I'm adding butter and rubbing it together until it looks like fine breadcrumbs. And here's a good tip to keep your pastry short: lemon juice.
Did you add the lemon purely for flavour, or
there is a little bit of hint of flavour coming from the lemon, but predominantly it breaks down the pastry, stops it being too rubbery. Okay. So it releases it because it's an acid. It's acid, yeah. Yes. Okay, so if you add your butter to your flour and begin crumbing the mixture together, rubbing it together. This pastry is different from plain short crust, as I'm enriching it with an egg. A little bit of salt, and before I add the water, I'm just going to mix this together to see how it starts to bind together. The key thing is, you don't want to add too much water and make it too soft, but you want enough to bring the pastry together. So a little bit to start with. Get your hands in there. I think that will do, actually. That pastry breaks apart easy, see? Now, the more I work that, the more rubberized that'll get. Complicated word, but actually it'll just stretch. It just means it'll stretch, and you don't want that in a pie. So at the moment, you literally just bring it together, and that's it. It's as simple as that. Okay, guys, you've all done it well. Now what I'm going to do is just wrap this up. Put the pastry in the fridge to chill for about 15 minutes. Now the filling for the pie is spinach and a cheese sauce, along with that egg. It starts with onion and garlic softened in butter. And I'm just going to turn up the heat to quite a fierce heat. So what? Because I'm going to add these frozen blocks of spinach. These are fantastic. These are going to release an awful lot of liquid. Now I need to dry these out. Pop them straight into the pan. Then into a bowl, beat together eggs and cream cheese. I'm also adding mature cheddar, some chopped chives and ground nutmeg. Now a nutmeg is interesting. This is the one that's going to lift that flavour with the spinach as well, and the egg. And then a little bit of seasoning, a bit of salt and pepper. Blend all this together again. Now, if you look at this, this is nearly there. Takes a bit. It's nice and dry. Once that's done, that goes in with that, mixed together, and then the whole thing, again, has to be cooled. You put it in a pie. You can't mess around with the lid by putting hot ingredients with a cool lid. So the ingredients for the filling have to be cool. You can do it the day before, so it's all in preparation. Once your filling has cooled, you can build your pie. It's best to shape your pastry straight from the fridge. So you need to divide your pastry up a little bit more for the base, and then your lid as well. Shape it into a rough round, flatten it down, a little bit of flour. Now again, when you're rolling out, start from the middle and roll up gently. And again, from the middle, roll down. Turn it, and again, middle up, middle down. Turn it, constantly turn it, a little bit of flour, turn it again. Problem is, if you don't turn it all the time, it will stick. Get your pastry, fold it all into the middle, just line the inside of your tin. Fold over the edges too. If you fold over the edges, when you come to trim it, it doesn't sink back in. Get right into the corners, and there you have it. Simple, good base. When you line your tin, allow enough extra around the lip for the pastry to shrink as it's baking. This is just the proteins in the flour that contract when they're heated. Over here, I've got the filling. You pour this into the base. Now we come to the part that makes this pie a little bit special. The wow factor of this pie. I'm just making a little well, pushing some of the spinach to one side. You basically grab an egg, and then you drop it into the well we just made. Add 2 more eggs. In fact, you could probably fit up to 5 eggs. Then brush egg wash around the top and place on the lid.
making sure you know where the eggs are.
I know there's an egg right there because I made sure it was right in front of me when I was doing it. The other two are both sides equal.
I like to add tiny balls of pastry.
And all that does is tell me, when I cut it, that's where the egg's going to be. It's as simple as that. I'm just going to get a little bit of egg wash too. Just a little bit of egg wash on the top to give it a lovely golden brown colour.
Egg wash is an egg lightly beaten. Great on top of pastry to give it a beautiful shine as well as a beautiful dark colour. Bake these at 200 degrees Celsius until they're golden and delicious, about 50 minutes. And when they're cooled, the best bit.
These are a bit special. What I'd like to see now, because they all look fantastic, where the dots are, can you make a cut and then draw out one of those little dots and see if you've got the egg?
Oi.
Look at that.
It's an egg in a pie.
Let's have a look at this one. Oh, there you go. Bang in the middle of the egg. Happy with those?
Yeah. Really.
Now you need to take a bite of it. Try it with a little bit of the egg as well. Is that good?
It's just delicious. I love the fact that there's a whole egg in there.
I think I'd like it even more cold, actually.
Yeah. I think it's gorgeous. I think the look of it, I think the flavour.
The pastry is just really short as well. Really,
It is.
Really crumbly.
It is.
Lovely.
Yeah. So once you've made it, you can leave it in the fridge and then just have portions in it.
I'm just really chuffed about making like an actual pie and it not leaking out the sides, and it looks quite good.
I think you've all done really well. But now it's down to you guys. You start making these pies, you give them to your family and get your family involved making it too. It's a great way of getting the kids to eat vegetables and the egg. Now get baking.